There is currently 5 active drops in CS2 currently, besides all the stuff that's in the armory. These are just drops you can receive by playing the game for completely free, and Valve constantly cycles them out. There's only 5 of them. The Fracture case has been in the game for 5 years. Today, let's talk about which one is most likely to be removed next, and how you can make money from it. So the interesting thing about this is, once again, the armory is in the game now, and Valve seems to be heavily favoring adding cases to that and just leaving these 5 cases in the prime drop pool. Of course, Valve makes a ton of money from the armory. They don't really make any money from just giving away cases unless people sell them on the Steam market, but still, I don't know, just an interesting decision. So it's very possible, first off, that these might not get removed anytime soon, unfortunately. But you got to imagine it's going to happen eventually, and that maybe they'll cycle out one for a new case at some point, along with adding something to the armory. So let's talk about which case should be removed. We'll start with the Fracture case. Obviously, it's from 2020, 5 years ago nearly at this point, and it's been in the game for so long. Let's take a look at the knives. So this case is kind of good and kind of bad for a few reasons. First off, it's got some decent skins. It's got case hardens, which could mean blue gems, crimson webs, fades, slaughters, all those are nice as well. Blue steels have picked up in CS2 as well. So have stained knives. I mean, they look a lot better. People like them a lot. It's definitely a case worth unboxing. It's got some nice knives in it, obviously with the skeleton and the nomad. The other two are not very desirable, but it's like a mid-tier case when it comes to skins. The only reason I say that is because it doesn't have gamma Dopplers and Dopplers. And those cases have proven to be some of the best investments in the game right now, and those skins have absolutely blown up. So it's a pretty decent case, and of course it does share these knives with the Shattered Web case, which is very expensive, extremely limited operation case that, I mean, very few people are unboxing at this point, because why would you? You might as well unbox a Fracture case that's like 60 cents and still being dropped in the game right now.
This video is sponsored by Skins Monkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, Skins Monkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. Skins Monkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, Skins Monkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description.
We could also see, if we go on over to CSGO stocks, that this case is bought massively. With a lot of the cases that are no longer in the game anymore, you only see a few thousand, like 3,000 being sold on the Steam market every day. With the Fracture case, there's about 10 times that. Even more, actually. 45,000 sold on Thursday, 30,000 Thursday, varies a lot, but there's tens of thousands of these obviously being sold every single day, and we could just see, well, it doesn't really show up in the last 6 months. We could look at a year, but this thing has gone up like double in price in the year. Despite it being an active drop in the game, there's just so much demand for it that it still pushes the price up, because way more of these are being unboxed than there are. Well, I shouldn't say way more being unboxed than there are in existence, but there's such a massive amount being unboxed that it still keeps the price going up. Obviously, there's more demand than there is supply still, somehow. So with that being said, if this case gets removed from the game, I think it'll be a great investment. I thought it was 60 cents. Apparently, it's only 40 cents, which is even better. Am I saying to buy this case right now? No, because we have no idea if it's going to be removed next or if it's going to be removed at all. But when it does, it's got some pretty solid knives in it, and it will increase in price drastically over the long term. No more supply coming in, and with like hundreds of thousands of these things being sold a week, you're going to see this thing blow up in price and supply drop off drastically. Now, of course, we do have some other cases as well. The Dreams and Nightmares case, one case that I really want to cover because of how much demand it has. This is an active drop case worth $2.27, and you might ask why. The reason is because of the ridiculously good knives. Gamma Doppler finishes on these knives, especially on the Butterfly. One of the most expensive knives in the game, and of course this case just having butterfly knives is absolutely incredible. It's the reason why people unbox it. Nobody wants a Bowie, nobody wants a Falchion, nobody really wants a Huntsman or Shadow Daggers. They want the butterfly, and that is what drives this case up so much in price. Now, of course, this case was released in 2022, so it's pretty unlikely we see it get released, or removed rather. If Valve ever decides to change this prime drop pool, so it's not a case I will be stocking up on or anything like that, but if it somehow does get removed, I would buy this thing instantly because the Butterfly Emerald will probably blow up in price when this thing gets removed, even more because it's already like 15 grand. Now, another case we should cover is the Broken Fang, or sorry, not the Broken Fang case, the Recoil case, which has the same gloves as the Broken Fang case and the recently removed Snakebite case. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this case because the Broken Fang gloves are essentially the least demanded gloves in the game, unfortunately. I think if Valve removes this case, they're gonna add new gloves to the game. There's just really not that many great gloves in this case. There's slingshots, which are great, but I mean, beyond that, nothing really too crazy. And this is not really a case I would personally invest in. Sure, it would probably increase in price if it got removed over the long term, but it's just not a very demanded case. I don't know what Valve is doing with gloves, but this is not one of the cases I'd buy. Either way, I don't think they're going to remove it because, I mean, it's one of the only glove cases in the game that's an active drop and is still cheap. But then, of course, we do have the Revolution case as well, which also has some gloves, and some very good gloves at that. So I would much rather be investing in the Revolution case if it gets removed than the Recoil case. But either way, I don't think the Revolution case is going to get removed. It's much more recent. It has much more demanding gloves and much more reason for people to unbox it. Obviously, we don't really know how Valve decides to remove cases in the game, but you would assume they would just remove the older ones. But who really knows? We don't really know. Either way, all you should know, this is a good investment case if it gets removed. This is a good investment case if it gets removed. Kilowatt case is not going to get removed, so I won't even cover it. And the Revolution case is also a case I would be investing in if it gets removed because it only has the same gloves as the Clutch case, which is also removed from the game and a case I hold on to and have held on to for a long time. So I'm hoping this thing gets removed, to be honest. But hopefully we don't see the Recoil case get removed because I don't think it's going to be a good investment at all simply because it does not have good gold items in it. And you could see this in other cases as well. I'll unfortunately diss on my CS20 case here, which is still $1.73 and has still been climbing in price pretty drastically, but it's not worth $5. It's not a Spectrum case, it's not a Gamma case currently because simply people don't love the classic knives, and there's much better things you could invest in. Sure, this thing is like 2x, almost 3x in price actually, but there's a ton of other stuff you could buy in the market. And I think right when the case gets removed, there's still going to be a lot of active supply out there and a lot of people listing these cases right away, especially if they're the less demanded ones. So yeah, that's where I stand with everything here. We don't know if Valve is going to remove these, but hopefully they do. That's where the case market stands now, and pretty much anything in the rare drop pool, I would say hold on to. Your Clutch cases, your Spectrum cases, your glove cases are, I still think those could get to $30 somehow, as ridiculous as that sounds, but not the case I'd invest in because it's so expensive. But Gamma cases are great. Chroma, Revolver, Shadow, Falchion, all of these cases are good to hold for the super long term. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will check out the sponsor. Link at the top of the description. Check them out. They're good. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.